Welcome back, it's your bro here, and in this video I'm going to show you how JButtons work in Java, so let's get started. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe so you can always return to this channel in the future and not miss any additional content. For this topic, I'll be discussing how we can make JButtons in Java. A JButton, it's a virtual button, and how a button works in real life is that you push it and it does something. I don't really think I need to explain much more than that. So we're going to make a virtual button in Java that'll execute whatever we want. So I'm going to make a new class for this. So we'll go to File, New, Class. And for a name, I think I'll just name this Test. All right, then back to our main class, we're going to type test equals new test. Honestly, I should have named this something like button example or whatever, but I think this will still work. All right, now we're going to need a few things for this example at least. We're going to want a JFrame. How about JFrame frame? We're not going to finish declaring them yet. We'll need an image icon. How about image 1? Image icon, image 2. JButton, button. And J, label, label. All right, we're gonna need a few imports. Here's the 3 imports we'll need. So outside of your class, type in import.java.awt. Then we get everything related to, oops, I need to fix that. Everything related to the AWT package. We'll need another java.awt.event. Yeah, for some reason, these two are actually in different packages for some reason. I don't know, I don't get it. Just make sure you get that second one too. All right, then the last one, java.x.swing.asterisk. All right, we have everything we need now. And you can see these red lines underneath each of these cleared up. All right, we're going to create a constructor for this class. Public test, parentheses, then curly braces. Now, with our main method, this will create an instance of test. So we're going to add a few things within our test constructor. So I'm going to make a quick JFrame, and I'll make this near the bottom of our constructor. So we already said JFrame frame, so we can just say frame equals new JFrame. And I think I'll title this button example. And then we should set the size. Set size, new dimension. How about 420 by 420? That's a cool number. We'll set the layout to null. And I think we went over the layouts in the previous video. Frame.setLayout. We'll set this to null. Frame.setDefault. Close operation. I don't feel like typing that in. Then JFrame.exit underscore on underscore close. All right. Oh, then we need to set it to true. Frame.set visible true. All right, so we have our JFrame created. It's named frame. Now let's create a JButton. We already have it partially declared outside of the test constructor, and I'll explain what that does in just a moment. Now we can finish declaring it and instantiating it. So we already have one named button. So button equals new JButton. And then you can set what's on the button by typing in something within the parentheses. Click me. All right, now we need to add the button to our JFrame. Frame.add button. Oh, we should probably set the bounds too. Button.set bounds. So this will be the positioning and the dimensions. So how about it'll start where X is 150, where Y is 50. It'll be 100 pixels long and 60 pixels for the height. All right, let's see if anything appears now. Yep, we got a little button that says click me. However, this doesn't do anything quite yet, so we need to set up something called an action listener. So if I can describe an action listener in just a few sentences, it's a class that we can implement, and if you attach the action listener to some sort of component, it'll perform some sort of action when that component is interacted with. So we'll want to implement this action listener for our class. So where you have your class defined, here it says public class test. We're going to type implements action listener. And action listener is an interface, so we need to inherit some methods and declare them. So what we're going to do is outside of our constructor, and make sure it's outside the constructor, we're going to type in a method. Now type in this, repeat after me. Public void action performed. I forgot how to spell it. That looks right. Then within parentheses, action event E. And then curly braces. All right, so this is our action performed method. So we can implement the action listener class, and we can attach this to some sort of component on our GUI. And then when that component is interactive with, it'll execute whatever is within the action performed method. So let us attach the action listener class to our button. And this is what you do to do that. Button.add action listener. Then within parentheses, type this. All right, so then if this button is interacted with, it's going to perform this action, whatever's in the curly braces. And honestly, the sky's the limit for what we could do with this action listener. How about, since the sky's the limit, we'll system.out.println poo. So when we click this button, it's going to perform this event, whatever's in here. And you can see this in the console window. Ladies and gentlemen, we have made a poo button. Now, if we have a few different components that are utilizing the action listener, we'll want to define the source for whatever component is performing the action. So this works for now, but if we want to add more components later, we'll want to define the action specifically. So we can type in if, we'll make an if statement and put this all in the if statement. e.getSource equals then whatever component you want to be interacted with to perform this action. So if e.getSource method is equal to our component button, then perform this action. And this should do the same thing. Yep, it's still pooing. Now, I would like to change the background color of our button. So we can do that by saying button.set background. You can either type in the word color here with a capital C, then period, then choose from a few different colors. Or you can pick your own RGB value, then make it more customized. So I think I'll pick 125, 125, and 125 for my RGB values. All right, let's see what this looks like. All right, so that color changed. Now let's change the font. Button.set font. New font, parentheses. Let me fix that O. All right, and then there's 3 fields we can fill out. The first is the font style. I think I'll pick something professional like Common Sans. we can stylize our font. So font dot, I think I'll pick italic this time. And then a font size. Maybe I'll go with 15. All right, let's see if this changed. We'll have to make the button a little bigger, I think. So 120. Yeah, you can see that now. Let's change the font color. Button dot set foreground new color. I think I'll go with 250, 250, and 250. Yeah, then it's like a white font. I'll add a border. Set border. Then within parentheses, border factory. All right, then you can pick whatever border you want here. I'm going to create a, I think, etched border. Let's try that. Yeah, you might be able to see it. It looks like it's made out of stone, like a stone button. All right, the last thing I want to do, there's this annoying white line around the text. We can remove that if we needed to. So button dot set focusable false. See, now that white line around the text is gone now. So yeah, we have a new kind of button now. It has a different appearance. And we can add an icon onto this button. Now we can add an icon to our button in place of the text, or including with the text, doesn't matter. So I'm going to create a quick image icon. Image icon, and I do have a picture ready that's in my project folder. Image equals new image icon, then within the parentheses, type in the file name or the file path where you can find the file or the image. All right, so this is going to be shrek.png for me. And then we can add the image here. I think I'll get rid of the click me. All right. There he is. There's our guy. All right, and then for the last part of this lesson, I think we'll make a label visible when you click the button, and I'll show you how that works. So I'm going to change our J button, and I'll say something like, hey, yeah. All right, then we need to create a J label. So if you have a picture ready, if you don't, you can just pause and download one real quick. So image icon, image 2 equals new image icon. Then within the parentheses, type in the name of the file or the file path where the picture is located. Hey.jpg for me. Now I need to create a J label, and we'll add the icon image to that label. So label equals new J label. We don't need to say anything. So we'll just add image 2. Then label dot set bounds. How about 100, 100? This is the X coordinate and then the Y coordinate where this label will start. Then the width of our label, how about 200, and then 200 for the height. And then we'll set it to be, the visibility to be false to begin with. All right, and then we need to add the label to our frame. So frame.add label. So this next part's important. We're going to get rid of our system.out.println. Now we're going to type, if we want this label to become visible, when we press the button, we need to say the name of our label, dot set visible, then true. Now if your JLabel, this part of the declaration, is inside the constructor, this actually will not work. For example here, see, it's not going to recognize it because right now this is a local variable. So you'll want to move this back. So then this is a global variable. So then this method actually has access to it. All right, let's try this out. Okay, so we don't see anything right now, but when we click the button, our label will pop up. Look at that. He-Man is beautiful. And that is how buttons work in Java. Ladies and gentlemen, that will conclude this episode of Bro Code. You did great by making it to the end. Keep up the good work. If this video helped you out, you can help me out by smashing that like button and leave a comment behind. Subscribe if you'd like to become a fellow bro.